GEDEE Car Museum was set up by GD Naidu, born on March 23, 1893 in Kalangal near Coimbatore. This school dropout began his transport business in 1920 with the purchase of a passenger auto coach, which he himself drove for the first service between Pollachi and Parani. In a matter of a few years, his United Motor Service (UMS) owned the most efficient fleet of public transport vehicles in the country. In 1937, the first motor to be produced in India was bought out at GD Naidu's UMS factory. He is credited in manufacturing the first electric motor in India. With his demise on the 4th of January 1974, Coimbatore lost its greatest ambassador to the world. At the entrance of the hallway, we see the pictures of history of automobile, the ancient wheel, the horse carriage, the advent of steam-powered engine, the cosmopolitan electric cars, and the brief about the 5 unique cars kept for display. Here we are given introduction about the cars and instructions to be followed by the museum representatives. Picture of Bartha, wife of Carl Benz, takes the maiden drive to prove automobiles are so safe. And here is the replica of the first automobile built. Henry Ford introduced the first mass-produced car, the Ford in Detroit, USA. It had a 22 horsepower inline 4-cylinder engine and could go as fast as 40 miles per hour. In 1934, Adolf Hitler instructed designer Ferdinand Porsche to create a car which could transport a family of 5 at 100 km per hour on the autobahns at a cost of 990 Reichsmarks. The car was named Volkswagen. The engine was in the back of the car and was a 4-cylinder flat Boxster engine. Citroën 2CV was designed by André Lefebvre along with Flaminio Bertoni. It was called 2CV for 2 horsepower and was designed to carry two French peasant farmers. Designed by the legendary Dante Giacosa, Fiat launched the most economical car, cheap and affordable for every Italian. It measured less than 3 meters long and 1.3 meter wide and weighed only 470 kg, a simple air-cooled inline two-cylinder engine with 479 cc produced. Nicknamed the Bull Nose, was one of the best-selling cars in Britain. The car had a dicky seat at the rear. The Morris 8 is a small family car which was produced by Morris Motors from 1935 to 1948. It was inspired by the sales popularity of the similarly shaped Ford Model Y. The success of the car enabled Morris to regain its position as Britain's largest motor manufacturer. Nicknamed the Baby Austin, it was one of the most popular cars ever produced for the British market. It was licensed and copied by companies all over the world. The very first BMW car, the BMW Dixie, was a licensed Austin 7. Austin 8. Launched on 24 February 1939, production continued into the war until 1943. Approximately 9,000 to 9,500 of the wartime Austin models were two-seater military 8AP Tourers produced for the armed services and government, and the rest were 4 light saloons, 6 light saloons, 2 and 4-seater Tourers and vans. After World War II, the model was made from 1945 until 1948. The shear line was designed by Austin during the Second World War, but production did not begin until 1947 because of the commitment to war production. It was a luxurious car in the style of the contemporary Rolls-Royce or Bentley, but at a much lower price, around two-thirds that of the equivalent Rolls-Royce, but still the price of 5 or 6 small Austins. They were about 8,000 built. Wolseley 8 is a four-door light saloon car which was produced by Wolseley Motors from 1946 to 1948. It was based on the Morris 8 Series E. At the time, it was said to be Lord Nuffield's favorite car. The car had an upmarket interior with leather upholstery, pile carpets, and walnut trim. Another traditional feature was an opening windscreen. Ford Cortina is a car which was built by Ford of Britain in various guises from 1962 to 1982 and was the United Kingdom's best-selling car of the 1970s. The Cortina was produced in 5 generations, Mark I through to Mark V. The name was inspired by the name of the Italian ski resort Cortina d'Ampezzo, site of the 1956 Winter Olympics. Fordson E83W. Light commercial vehicle that was built by Ford of Britain, the E83W was aimed at a small haulage, trade and merchant market sectors in which it sold well. Many specialist variations such as mobile canteens, ice cream vans and even fire pumps were built on the E83W chassis. The Rolls-Royce 20 built between 1922 and 1929. A new inline 6-cylinder overhead valve engine was designed for the car of 3127 cc with a bore of 76 mm and stroke of 114 mm. Unlike the Silver Ghost engine, the cylinders were cast in one block and the cylinder head was detachable. Both coil and magneto ignition were fitted. The early cars had 3-speed manual gearboxes with a change lever in the center of the car, but this changed in 1925 to a 4-speed unit with traditional right-hand change. The power was transmitted to the rear axle via a standard propeller shaft with a universal joint at each end. The Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow is a luxury car that was produced in the United Kingdom in various forms from 1965 to 1980. It was the first Rolls-Royce to use unitary bond and chassis construction. The Silver Shadow has the largest production volume of any Rolls-Royce. BMW Isetta 250. One of the famous microcars built during 1940s, it has a single-cylinder engine. Front door opening along with steering, manufactured by BMW Germany. Cargomobil was a series of microcars produced in the Bavarian town Dingolfing after World War II by Glas. Glas produced 3 models on the Cargomobil platform: the Cargomobil T sedan, the Cargomobil TS Coupe, and the Cargomobil TL van. The engine was an air-cooled 2-stroke 2-cylinder unit, originally displacing 250cc, but later available in increased sizes of 300cc and 400cc. DKW Dampfkraftwagen, English steam-driven car, is a German car and motorcycle marque. The company and brand is one of the ancestor companies of the modern-day Audi company, as one of the four companies that formed Auto Union. In 1916, Danish engineer Jorgen founded a factory in Germany to produce steam fittings. In 1932, DKW merged with Audi, Horch and Wanderer to form Auto Union. Auto Union came under Daimler-Benz ownership in 1957 and was purchased by the Volkswagen Group in 1964. The last German-built DKW car was the F102, which ceased production in 1966. Hanomag was a German producer of steam locomotives, tractors, trucks, and military vehicles in Hanover. Hanomag first achieved international fame by delivering a large number of steam locomotives to Finland, Romania, and Bulgaria before World War I. In 1925, they added automobiles to their line, additionally moving in 1931 into the production of construction machinery. Since 1989, the company has been part of the Komatsu company. Hansa. This four-door sedan was built by Hansa Borgward, Bremen-based German automobile manufacturer. The Mercedes-Benz 170S was a further development of the 170V model, which appeared in 1949. In 1952, the Mercedes-Benz 170SB replaced the 170S model. The BMW E12 is an automobile which was produced by BMW from 1972 to 1981. It was the first generation of the BMW 5 Series mid-size sedans. The E12 was released as the 520 and 520i 4-cylinder models to replace the new class sedans. Porsche Boxster 2000. The Porsche Boxster is a mid-engined two-seater roadster built by Porsche. The Boxster is Porsche's first road vehicle to be originally designed as a roadster since the 550 Spider. The first generation Boxster, the 986, was introduced in the late 1996. It was powered by a 2.5-liter flat 6-cylinder engine. The design was heavily influenced by the 1992 Boxster concept. The Smart 4 is a rear-engine, rear-wheel drive, two-seater hatchback city car manufactured and marketed by the Smart division of Daimler AG, introduced in 1998, now in its third generation. The 4 is now marketed in 37 countries worldwide. Mercedes-Benz SLK. The SLK is a roadster manufactured by Mercedes-Benz. It was one of the first power retractable hardtop convertibles. Subaru Rex. The Subaru Rex was a two-cylinder K-class car manufactured by Subaru, Japan. The Mazda RX-8 was a sports car manufactured by Mazda Motor Corporation, Japan in 2001. The Mazda has a Wankel engine which won the Engine of the Year 2003 award. Citroën XM. An executive car produced by the French automaker between 1989 and 2000. It was introduced to compete against Audi and BMW 5 Series. It had a patented hydro-pneumatic suspension that gave it a magic carpet ride. Citroën Diane is an economic car, also called Super Mini, produced by the French automaker Citroën from 1967 to 1983. The design was based on the Citroën 2 Series. The Diane was designed from the outset as a hatchback with some other styling differences, such as conventional round headlamps set into the front fender with a squared stainless steel trim ring and stainless steel wheel embellishments as standard. The Peugeot 504 is a mid-size front-engine, rear-wheel drive automobile manufactured and marketed by Peugeot for model years 1968 to 1983 over a single generation, primarily in four-door sedan and wagon configurations. The 504 was noted for its robust body structure, long suspension travel, and torque tube drive shaft. Having debuted as Peugeot's flagship at the 1968 Paris Salon, the 504 received the 1969 European Car of the Year. In 2013, the LA Times called it Africa's workhorse. The Toyota Serra is a two-door, four-seat coupe built by Toyota Japan and known for its butterfly doors which tilt up and forward when opened and the canopy constructed largely of glass panels. The Hispano-Suiza H6B was a Spanish automobile with an aircraft engine designed by Marc Berket and manufactured in India. It is a pre-war car and the one and only Hispano-Suiza in India. Cadillac limousine. A limousine traditionally used by the American president is on display. It came from Kochi, another car-loving city. Plymouth Plaza is an automobile which was produced by Plymouth from 1954 through the 1958 model year. The Plaza was Plymouth's entry-level car during those years and was priced under the Plymouth Savoy. Oldsmobile Dynamic. Manufactured by General Motors America, the Oldsmobile was the first auto manufacturer to offer a fully automatic transmission called the Hydramatic, which featured 4 forward speeds. Chevrolet AE Independence. The Chevrolet Independence is an American vehicle manufactured by Chevrolet in 1931 to replace the 1930 series AD Universal.